The decision by the ICC rogue prosecutor to issue warrants against the democratically elected leaders of Israel, fighting these terrorist savages of Hamas backed by Iran, I think it's beyond outrageous. Because he's not only making a false symmetry between a democracy fighting according to the laws of war against terrorists who know no law and use their own civilians as human shields, he's also leveling false charges. Israel's trying to starve them out. Starve them out? What are you talking about? We're putting 500,000 tons of food and medicine into Gaza because we're not fighting the civilian population, we're fighting the terrorists embedded in that population. So these charges are completely false. A false symmetry between a democracy and a terrorist tyranny, and false charges that have no bearing whatsoever. In response to this, the United States said that they would, in fact, back those, in a bipartisan way, back the sanctions bill that threatened not only Israel, but threatened America. Because the ICC is basically sanctioning a democracy that is trying to fight terrorists who are basically seeking immunity by committing a double war crime, targeting civilians, hiding behind civilians. You can't let them get away with that, because then every democracy is imperiled. And in fact, America is imperiled, because if Israel's elected officials are sanctions, are issued warrants, and Israel's soldiers are issued warrants, the same thing will happen to your soldiers and to your elected officials. And that's why America traditionally said we don't accept the ICC rulings. We're a sovereign country. We have our own legal system. We have our soldiers. We have our commanders. We have our leaders. We're not going to let some rogue prosecutor in The Hague issue warrants for their arrest. And we're not going to do it for our allies. That was the American position. I thought that it's still the American position because there was a bipartisan consensus just a few days ago that said that there would be a bill on sanctions on the ICC if they persist in these warrants. Now, you say there's a question mark. And frankly, I'm surprised and disappointed because I think it's to the detriment not only of Israel's interest, I think it's to the detriment of America's interest, because Israel may be attacked first by the ICC, but you're next.